Well, basketball, Lakers snapped their three-game losing streak last night, beating the Mavericks 107-97. Brandon Ingram led the way with 29 points. Nick, what was your takeaway from this one?
Excellent second half by the Lakers in a game they needed. After struggling immensely without LeBron, looked like this was going to be a continuation of that trend. Down 15 at the half. Josh Hart hit a nice little buzzer beater right at the half, gave him a little momentum. And Brandon Ingram, second most points he's scored in an NBA game at 29. He hadn't been able to crack that 26-point threshold all year. Good game by him. Good game by Lonzo, despite Kuz struggling immensely in his game back.
Yeah, they're in the 8th spot in the West now. Man, it's critical that they try to just hold serve until LeBron gets back. But it's a dangerous time for them, man. They need to win a few games with LeBron being out of the lineup.
When's he
Big
coming
win
back,
last
Nick?
night.
I don't know. They're
That's
playing
pretty
home
severe
against the Cavs, in 6 days. I don't
wish
know.
y'all listen to me about those injuries. LeBron said it, Pop. Man, oh, this is not significant. Oh, you'll be back in a few days. Shh. Okay.
Excuse me. All right, let's move on to Jimmy Butler. The saga continues. Reports are he isn't happy with his role with the Sixers. This after not being happy with his role with the Timberwolves. But Philly's not given up on him quite yet, according to more reports. The Sixers have refused calls from teams looking to acquire Butler. Nick, what'd you make of this?
Jimmy Butler needs to talk with somebody, get with somebody. I don't know if it's a life coach or just personality conflict coach. Jimmy Butler, what does Stink say? When everywhere you walk smells, maybe it's you. Like, Jimmy Butler, you had beef with people in Chicago. You had beef with people in Minnesota. You're not having beef already in Philadelphia. Maybe it's a Jimmy Butler problem. He carries himself like he's bringing this championship pedigree to any team he goes to. He's won 2 series, not championship series, in his career. Like, come on, Jimmy, chill out, man.
Well, I don't have a problem with this, and the reason why, because they do have an offensive problem, and it's a legitimate question. Now, how he presented that, and now because he's done these things in Minnesota, but they got an offensive problem. So he's got a high basketball IQ, and high basketball IQ guys, they will challenge the coaches. I didn't have a problem with him challenging, but he needs to be, you have to play with somebody, Jimmy. It's a team sport, all right? So they do need to get their offensive problems worked out, so that is legitimate.
All right, let's move back to the football now. In the NFL, the Packers are reportedly hiring Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur to be their head coach. LaFleur spent time with Sean McVay in L.A. before this past role in Tennessee. Chris, what'd you make of this hire?
I thought it was a good hire. And Matt LaFleur is one of those kind of guys, when you meet him 15 minutes, you think ultimately he's going to be calling the NFL offense, running some type of franchise. So I'm thinking, now they might have reached a little bit early for him, because he doesn't have the experience there in Tennessee. You're not going to see his skill set based on what they did in Tennessee. He will adapt. It will be more like Sean McVay and what they do with Los Angeles, but I believe a bright, young offensive mind who will challenge Aaron Rodgers. So I like the hire of the Packers, and I like the fact that they got out there fast and was able to get one of the better candidates immediately.
Yeah, one of the only benefits of firing a coach mid-season is theoretically you get a jump start on this process. Packers took advantage of that. So people should know he was the quarterback's coach in Atlanta the year Matt Ryan won MVP and they went to the Super Bowl. He was with the Rams last season but wasn't calling plays. He was hired based on, I would imagine, his interview and the ideas he presented rather than the resume of what the Titans did this year offensively, because what the Titans did this year offensively was not impressive, but he didn't really have the quarterback situation or the receivers to be impressive. It's a risky hire by Green Bay to hire a first-time head coach for this last phase of Aaron Rodgers' career, but they took the risk.
And this is where NFL owners are going. Sean McVay didn't have the resume either. When he went to Washington, you're like, hey, what offense is he going to run? And then when he got to L.A., we saw a different offense. So that's what the Packers are hoping for.
All right, let's move on. To declare or not to declare, that is the question if you're Dwayne Haskins. And it turns out the Ohio State quarterback who led the Buckeyes to a Rose Bowl win and a 13-1 record this season will declare. He'll enter the 2019 NFL Draft. Haskins is the presumptive favorite to be the first quarterback taken in the draft. Could be the first Big Ten quarterback selected in the first round since 1995. CC, how good can Haskins be?
Well, he's the best quarterback that's ever come from that institution. They've been playing football over 120 years. He's absolute by far the best thrower. People might have missed the season, 50 touchdown passes. Now, I don't like the fact only starting 14 or 15 games, because typically we have seen quarterbacks be more successful in the pros. But given his situation, given that he can be a top 10, given that he is the first at his position, he's got to be able to come out of school, even though he doesn't have those 30 starts, 25 starts that we would like. He has a touch, has a big-time arm, is a competitor, is a great leader, is not a diva, not a high-maintenance guy. So if you want to have a young guy to be the face of your franchise for a number of years, I believe he's as good a prospect as we've seen come into the league in the last several years. So what he did at Ohio State and revamped that offense with Ryan Day, we hadn't seen that. Art Schlichter, 1982, last quarterback from Ohio State. You mentioned the Big Ten quarterbacks. That is just not a conference that produces a lot of NFL. I believe that Haskins is the brightest that we've seen in a long time.
That is a crazy stat, that no Big Ten quarterbacks been taken in the first round since Kerry Collins in '95. I think people hear, they're like, what about Drew Brees? Drew Brees was the very top of the second round when he was taken by then the San Diego Chargers. But I'm pretty close with a prominent Ohio State alum who I might have gone to a game with last year, who even last year was talking about this kid, Dwayne Haskins, even when they had four-year captain starting quarterback at the time. The names escaped me. I forgot. The quarterback.
J.T. Barrett.
J.T. Barrett. Thank you. Apologies. Being told and people talking that when this kid gets on the field, he is going to change the way Ohio State traditionally plays football because of his ability to vertically pass the football.
Somewhat the situation Trevor Lawrence in Clemson.
Yes.
They were trying to take that offense to a different level. Pure drop back, big-time thrower. That's what Clemson had. That's what Ohio State had in Haskins.
And so the only knock on him is experience. And so he could have come back for another year. You come back for another year, then you're maybe not the #1 quarterback in your class. There's a lot of questions that come up. He had said about a month ago in an interview, because he's from the tri-state area, New Jersey, I think, that he would love to be taken by the Giants. Now, it was kind of a leading question. The Giants are the type of situation that could be ideal for him because of the lack of experience, where it's not a team that wants him to start immediately, where he can learn from a veteran quarterback and then take the reins either mid-season or in year 2. Because I believe in the talent. I do think it's very difficult for quarterbacks that only start the 1 year in college to come in and instantly make an impact. Mitch Trubisky was in a similar position.
Sure.
He's still getting his footing, and he's played a couple years of pro football at this point.
And you think his game translates to the pros pretty well?
Oh, he can throw it. He can throw it to any part of the field. He's got touch on the short passes. Intermediate we saw during the season. And being able to read coverages and not throw interceptions. He's got a big arm, but he doesn't take a lot of chances with the football. Still throwing in single digits as far as interceptions with those 50 touchdowns. Pretty special. I believe he's going to be a really good pro.
All right, let's move back to last night's game again. Yesterday we wondered what it would take for Clemson to pull off the upset over Alabama. The answer was Trevor Lawrence. Oh, and a great all-around Tigers team. They beat the Crimson Tide 44